As an outfitter, one of the biggest obstacles to building a successful operation is your ability to secure the permits that you'll need to turn your clients' dreams into a reality. So imagine for just a second how awesome it would be if you had all the permits you needed to run an exclusive outfitting business in one of the most sought-after big game hunting areas in the United States. Well, guess what? The opportunity to have that dream business is here on 200 acres of prime trophy land in southwestern Montana. Mike Hyde and the Suchecki Team at Keller Williams, Western Montana are excited to bring you Montana High Country Lodge and Outfitter. Located in the heart of the Grasshopper Valley and the Pioneer Mountains, this area is considered by many to be one of the finest outdoor recreation areas in the state of Montana. This unique package comes with outfitting licenses, exclusive access permits for recreation, hunting, and fishing in Beaverhead and Big Hole Country. Everything you need to run your dream outfitting business. It's truly the chance of a lifetime.
Well, the permits that we hold currently with the Forest Service are a spring hunting permit for spring bear. We have a summer fishing permit to go onto the forest and fish the mountain lakes. Then in the fall, we have big game hunting permits. And then in the winter, we have a winter snowmobiling permits. And those are all part of a priority permit that we have. That's not a temporary, but it's a priority permit that allows us to operate for years and years down the road. Then we also have BLM permits that accompany our fall hunting permits, and we have Montana State Lands permits that tag on to the BLM and the forest for hunting. So our hunting operation is our largest.
Southwestern Montana is famous for growing large bull elk and mule deer, and here in the Grasshopper Valley you have no competition as the exclusive outfitter.
Well, the hunting operation, we're the only one that's in the east and west pioneers on this end of the range. You have to go towards Wise River before you'd find another permit operation down there. So we're basically exclusive commercial. The outfitting interest is here. The general public can be on the forest, the public lands, but no other hunting operation licensed outfitter can be here. We started our outfitting business in 1979, so this is our 39th year. And when we started, it was pretty small, a boat, a pickup, and then that was the fishing part. We ended up getting permits to operate on the forest for summer use and fall hunting, and started building from there. Ended up getting BLM permits, Montana State Lands permits, leased a couple private ranches, and built the hunting operation into one of the larger outfitted hunting operations in western Montana.
Southwestern Montana isn't just known for its legendary big game hunts. Summer fishing on the Beaverhead and Big Hole is in high demand, so the permits you receive as part of this package give you a distinct advantage to provide the best opportunities to fish these rivers during the best days of the fishing season.
We have Beaverhead and Big Hole River permits. They're a permitted rivers, so limited outfitters on those. So it requires a fish and game permit, and then we're allocated a certain amount of days. They went off of your historical use. We've been in operation for the 39 years, so we've got a large amount of days, substantial amount to run on both of those rivers. We also have the forest permits, so we can go onto the forest to several of the mountain lakes that are within reasonable driving distance from us. Clark Canyon Reservoir is one of the best stillwater fisheries. So Clark Canyon and the Beaverhead, the best 1-2 punch there is. Well, it's a tailwater fishery. It comes out of the bottom of the dam. So you have consistent summer flows. You have cool temperatures. It's just ripe for growing big fish in a hurry. So the Beaverhead is kind of famous for growing large fish.
And if the Big Hole and Beaverhead aren't enough for the day, there are some nice fishing options back at the lodge.
The lower pond out here with the boat dock in it's probably got 20 to 24 inch trout in it. The upper pond has 15 to 18 inch trout in it. So it's just a thing that you do every other year. You put a few more fish in. You don't want to overpopulate it, but you want to keep several age classes in there. So when people get back from a day of river fishing, if they need a little bit more, 100 yards away is a trout pond.
As the owner of Montana High Country Lodge and Outfitter, not only do you have the opportunity to offer exclusive hunting and fishing packages, but winter snowmobile vacation packages are extremely popular due to the fact that the lodge is directly connected to 200 miles of groomed trails. Some people consider this trail system to be the best snowmobile experience in Montana.
Well, this is a place where they can come and drop their snowmobiles off and ride their own from here, or rent our sleds and go out. And so a lot of places they end up having to trailer their sleds to a trailhead and unload and then ride from there. Here they're able to ride right back to the lodge, get off their sleds, come into the lodge. So it's pretty attractive for riders. There's right at 200 miles of groomed trails. The Beaverhead Snow Riders groom those trails, and they go from up near Wise River over close to Wisdom, all of the Pioneer Scenic Byway. They go through our ranch and out through the Big Hole, the Carroll Hill, Big Hole Pass, and down to Reservoir Lake. Down, and there's a trail system that goes up over the top of Eunice Creek and drops down into Lemhi, Idaho. The warming hut, if you're riding a sled, you can be there in 20 minutes.
With the lodge's close proximity to Maverick Ski Area and Elkhorn Hot Springs, it's also known to provide a comfortable stay for people who have come specifically for those activities.
The ski hill is 10 minutes from the lodge to get to their lodge, and it's a great little ski area, 2,200 foot vertical drop, just a small local area, rarely a lift line, cheap tickets, fun place to ski. I ran the ski school there for 20 years.
So as an outfitter, you've got the hunting, the fishing, and the snowmobiling locked down. Then on top of that, you've got the people who come to southwestern Montana for the world-class year-round recreation opportunities that only it can provide.
It's a great place, and it's not just a short season, a summer season or a fall season. There are people that visit our valley year-long. In the summertime, we're along the Continental Divide mountain bike trail, and so there are some different events that happen, and bicyclers will come to our lodge. There's the Tour Divide ride, which is a mountain bike race, a self-supported race from Banff, Canada to Antelope Wells, New Mexico. This year there were 191 riders that started. We had 101 of them stop here. About 70 dropped out before they got here. We're 800 miles in, but half of them spent the night, the other half just had meal and services. And then throughout the year you get riders that are just touring, and they may be touring the entire route or just a section of the route, but we'll pick up another 100 riders that just stop, spend the night. So the biking, the Tour Divide and this great mountain bike trail, they come from all over the world, from South Africa, Belgium, New Zealand, Australia, the States. It's just neat to meet people from all over the world that are recreating and having a good time. We're on the Pioneer Scenic Byway, and so we're not too far from Bannock, Montana's first territorial capital. It's a state park, so we have a lot of visitors that come to Bannock. They just had Bannock Days last week, and so our lodge was full with people that were down at Bannock Days. So you've always got people that are coming into there. Crystal Park is a place where the public can go for free and dig amethyst crystals. It's on the forest property. The Butte Mineral Society has the claims for that, and they've donated that back to the public and the Forest Service to operate that. So we get a lot of people that come just to dig crystals, and they stay here and go up and dig and screen crystals. If they're looking for a small hike, they can hike up the Sawtooth Trailhead, and it's 2.5 miles up to the lake, a couple 1,000-foot climb, and beautiful mountain lake that sits right under cliffs. It's filled with brook trout and golden trout. Well, probably about 2.5 hour drive. Not so far as the crow flies, about 75 miles, but you got to go around all of the mountains and streams to get over to there. So it's a long day trip for people. We have some that will go to Yellowstone and come back in the same day, but they can't see a lot of Yellowstone. They need to spend a night. So we have a lot of folks that are here that will put that on the front end of their trip or the back end of their trip. They'll spend their time, at the park, but they'll spend their time here.
Montana High Country Lodge and Outfitter has become known as the place in southwestern Montana to host special events like weddings, family reunions, and corporate retreats. In fact, each year the lodge hosts hundreds of cyclists during their breakfast stop for Rat Pod, which is a benefit for Camp Make a Dream.
Their major fundraiser for the year is called Rat Pod. Funky name, but it stands for Ride Around the Pioneers in One Day. And it's just a charity ride affair, fundraiser. On a big year, they've made $480,000 for Camp Make a Dream. We're the breakfast stop, so we start serving breakfast on the lawn out in front of the lodge at about 7:30, and we wrap it up about 10:30. So we feed, the most was 650 riders in about a 3-hour period. It takes a pretty good sized staff, so Camp Make a Dream sends their lodge, their facility crew over to help out on the lawn feeding. So we're cooking food in the kitchen and bringing it out, and they're assembling burritos, and they've got all sorts of other food out there for them. But we're just one spoke in that wheel. Right. Keeps it rolling and making money for them. We enjoy giving back, to the different groups, whether it's the Big Hearts Under the Big Sky, where we take veterans and hunting or fishing, or kids with life-threatening illness, hunting and fishing. Part of the Casting for Recovery, we've done trips for them, so women that have breast cancer recovering from it. And latest was we've done a couple trips for the Cash Hide Foundation.
This isn't just an opportunity for you to run your dream outfitting business. It's your chance to become part of a legacy. If you're an outfitter looking for a competitive advantage, you owe it to yourself to come take a serious look at Montana High Country Lodge and Outfitter. And if you're not from the area, you've got a few travel options to choose from.
So we're 35 miles northwest of Dillon on Highway 278. Our hunters and fishermen both, if they're flying in, they really have two options. They fly into Butte, which is the nearest, and it's about an hour and 45 minutes away from here, or they fly into Bozeman, and that's about 2 hours and 30 minutes away from the lodge. Bozeman has the most options for carriers going into, and usually the flights are a little cheaper going to there. Sometimes they'll get into Missoula, and sometimes Idaho Falls are their next options to come into.
This is your chance to run an exclusive outfitting business in southwestern Montana's big game country. Give us a call to schedule a visit so that you can experience the potential of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.